Yo, yo, happy Friday to you, and this is another edition of Cleanpin, talking all things wrestling, WWE, AEW, TNA, NWA, MLW, ROH, CZW, SWA, New Japan, Lucha Underground. You get it. All things wrestling, and this is your stop for all things wrestling. And I thank you for joining Cleanpin, joining from the Bleacher Sports Show. Please hit that like button, smash that notification bell. We're going to have some fun this week. We were last with you 5 days ago, talking about, Logan Paul, the Hurt Business splitting up, that stuff. Well, it's another week and another week of wrestling news. Most importantly, my friends, it's WrestleMania week. As we welcome the audio version on board here, you can find the podcast on Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And I do beg you and implore you to actually subscribe to there as well, if you like the audio form. That way you could listen to it on your ride home, in your earbuds while you work out in the gym. All good. All good. And where do we begin? I think where we should begin, as I bring up the WrestleMania card, let's give some thoughts and predictions, shall we? WrestleMania 37. We have, and this match, and the matches will be in no particular order, obviously, just kind of free-flowing between night one and two. First time in quite some time, if I'm not mistaken, that we're actually going to have a crowd. Now, we're actually going to have a crowd for WrestleMania, so that will, I'm sure, play into things, play in the atmosphere, the overall environment. As the country, the states slowly are opening up. Not sure what capacity it will be filled, but listen, a small crowd is better than no crowd, I believe. So, first match, we have Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina versus Carmella and Billie Kay. Now, try saying that 5 times fast. Who do I think is going to win? The Riot Squad. Now, why do I think that they will win? The Riot Squad has the most history as a tag team. And honestly, if the WWE is going to make a real push with its women's tag team division, having a cohesive unit challenge and eventually win the championship would go a long way. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison. This is going to be Bad Bunny. This is going to be Damian Priest. Why I say it is this is Damian Priest's. This is Damian Priest's coming out party. right? He's relatively new on the scene. You can't have him lose right now. You need to establish him. And Bad Bunny is a celebrity. And you're paying this celebrity good decent amount of coin, as the kids say, to be on during WrestleMania season. I can't expect the Bad Bunny to lose and quote unquote tarnish his reputation, his image. You don't bring us a star that gains you notarization in to lose on WrestleMania. So to speak, you gotta set the crowd home happy. So that being said, Bad Bunny, Damian Priest beat out The Miz and The Miz and John Morrison. Match 2. Match 3, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. I think it's Seth Rollins, as much as it pains me. Unlike the match mentioned, I listen. The first match that we discussed, but this match, I think it has the potential to be main event. It's a main event match potential. Look at the technical prowess of these two guys, Seth Rollins and Cesaro. But considering that Rollins is coming in as a heel, I think they're going to likely be some type of underhand, tactic at play in the finish. I could see that happening. Regardless, it feels like the winner here moves onto the Universal Championship picture, and the loser makes a run at Biggie in the Intercontinental title. I could see that happening and going in that direction. Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage. I'm gonna go with Braun Strowman winning this. I mean, there's not much upside down from a long-term booking perspective. Of having McMahon win his notch, so to speak, earn his stripes, earn his match, win his match rather. McMahon undoubtedly will have some kind of set him up with some type of a run at a WWE Championships segment sometime down the future if he ever wants to it. There are going to be some incredible spots opening up in a few years. But I do think that Cesaro will take the victory here. You have Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman, who, as of this podcast recording, which is on a Friday night, gonna be a tough one. Gonna be a tough one to pull out and try to get right. They really need to be in sync here between Rollins and Cesaro, and for them to have a good match, and I think they could. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins winning this match, winning his match. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon. I think Braun Strowman is going to win. Really with this type of a match or this type of a storyline, it really did not hook me in. I'm not sure if it hooked you guys in. It did not hook me in. I think it was rather, stupid, silly, stupid little built-in reason to have a feud. After all, they not kind of, but they have a Be a Star program where they amongst the things that they do is they talk about not being a bully, and based on this application, or based on this match rather, um, you start having your doubts. You start thinking that Shane McMahon here is a bully. I think Braun Strowman will win. Look for it to be in a steel cage match, which gonna have some added juice to it. The New Day versus AJ Styles, and Omos. No, Omos, Omos. Now, it feels like now I don't know obviously what's behind the screen, behind the doors, so to speak, for Omos. But it's Omos and AJ Styles. Don't ask for a last name for Omos. It's just Omos and AJ Styles. They're going to go up against the New Day. Who do I think will win? I think it's going to be AJ Styles and Omos. Listen, New Day is arguably, one of, if not the greatest tag teams in the world. That's arguable. That's debatable. But they're, they are, you have technical prowess. Okay, it's going to be a technical match. So you look at it, and you built that. Messiah and Seth Rollins is there to save Cesaro. I think that Big E really needs to win this, so I will go with Big E winning a title, and we'll see where the rest of the career does go. Hold on one second, my friends. Talks amongst yourself. All right, so Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Look for Seth Rollins to pick up the victory. Shane McMahon versus Braun. We went over that. I think that Braun Strowman will win. It's like him conquering a bully or a bad dream, so to speak. So back to the Raw Tag Team Championship. Listen, arguably a great tag team is the New Day. But Styles and Omos have the potential to, simplify, and you got to mix things up a bit in the Raw Tag Team division. There's more storytelling opportunity down the line if WWE builds it in. And it's like, AJ Styles is coming back home. And almost they could definitely market where even if, the team does split because the championship is not won, there's a lot of resources and a lot of resources to be successful. We'll see what happens with that match. And we'll see what happens with Omos. I got a feeling that he will be that he will get a lot of touches, a lot of opportunities. I don't know. I just can't see the win on AJ Styles' fault. So I'm going to go with the New Day winning, retaining the championship. Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. I think it's going to be Bobby Lashley. The Hurt Business, has been one of the best stables in recent memory. And despite the recent kind of splintering of the group, so to speak, keeping Raw's uh, kind of keeping that audience. They want to keep that Raw audience. So why not host it on Raw? Right? Which is what they're trying to do. And I don't know. I feel bad for Omos, but I think it's time for a new day to win and retain the championship. To win and retain. Hold on 1 second, folks. We're going to take a quick break. Be right back. How about that for live sounds? As we pick up the card where we left you off with AJ Styles and his tag team partner versus a New Day. I just don't see New Day losing it. I think it's going to be New Day. The championship: Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Now, and obviously things change, but I thought that Drew McIntyre has been, so to speak, the COVID champion. He's won the title with absolutely no audience there. It was in an era where everything was based on the fly. And now it seems where that's not the case. But it's, let's put it this way. This match has had Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. It's had its prior history before. And the Hurt Business has been one of probably the best probably one of the best stables in quite some time. Despite the recent kind of splintering of the group, keeping Raw's top championship with Lashley and his manager MVP, friend, and that really makes a lot of sense. That 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 Instagram post. So yeah, when you look at the card, I personally think it's going to be Seth Rollins. I know you have other athletes that are trying to be in the position, even that Kane is in. But I just don't see how I just don't see how how Bobby Lashley loses this coming week. Um, and I know McIntyre had an extended run after beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 36, but a couple of months later, come summertime, he had already lost the belt. So I will go with winning this one. Roman. I'm sorry. I'm going with tough one to pick. I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley winning this. I thought this would. This is a feud that has been already prior. It's done prior in other organizations. I don't remember anything that stuck out to me. I'm sticking away from that. You're going to have, on night 2, you're going to have The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, versus Randy Orton. Who will win this? Moving on to Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. I think the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, will win this one. WWE wants to continue with Bray Wyatt, his Fiend character, and a universe being built around it, right? Wyatt needs to win on a more consistent basis. That's part of it. The Fiend needs to win this one. He really does. There's no way around this one. If he loses, he will never be looked upon the same. Hmm. Interesting. Trying to run scenarios as far as what could happen with the Fiend, and my mind is racing elsewhere, everywhere. It all comes back to the same thing. The Fiend has to win this. Or else, might as well, kiss that Fiend character goodbye, because it's not going to hold any weight. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with special guest Logan Paul. I think Sami Zayn is going to win this match. And I think Logan Paul will somehow play, because he's now going to be at ringside. I think somehow he's going to play a role in the match. Somehow. And I think it's going to be in the way that it's going to help Owens win. However, we imagine it will backfire, and I believe it's going to backfire. Let's just put it that. And Sami Zayn will come out on top, with Kevin Owens really not being able to do much. Riddle versus Sheamus for the US champion, and Ricky's going to beat. I'm sorry, Riddle. He's going to have to go up against Sheamus. Now, a lot of people are saying to themselves um, that they're not behind the character of Riddle. He's too kooky, and everyone hates this character. Oh, horrible character. Release him. Yada yada yada. Um, him going up against Sheamus, I think it's going to be a lot of kind of flying around. That's back then when you were able to do that, and Conan, and it's going to be a good match. These two fight well against each other. Uh, for the win, give me Riddle. The Intercontinental Championship, Big E versus Apollo Crews. Um, Big E has so much momentum behind him, and it's more of a when, not if. Um, Big E has worked his way to get to where he is, and we have to get Apollo Crews all the credit in the world. He absolutely changed his fortune around in Apollo by reinventing himself. Is finally able to kind of make his way back on TV. So give me Riddle for the victory, and I believe that's his first WrestleMania. I believe first WrestleMania as a singles champion, and he's Big E's shown that he means business, and he's going to show exactly what he means to. He's gonna be he's gonna be tough to beat, and he does a lot for the community. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler versus the Riot Squad. You got monsters. You got Jackson, Shayna Baszler versus the Riot Squad. That's who I predicted would win. Yeah, now for these straps, I think it would be the Riot Squad. Okay. It's just my gut feeling. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Um, Rhea Ripley, it's her time. WrestleMania 2 years ago was horrible. It's her time now. Rhea Ripley is here to stay. I think she wins this. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Whew. What a tongue twister. Um, you know, the way that this has been built, I just think it's going to be Edge that wins. Um, It's a story that is set up to be picture perfect. Coming back after a 9-year layoff. Then in his, I believe, second match, or even first match, gets injured. And now he's back and ready to go at it. It's going to be something worth seeing. I can guarantee you that. And that's WrestleMania, folks. WrestleMania right around the corner. They separated now in 2 nights, which I think is good. That way, you're not overexposing yourself to watching wrestling the whole night, consecutive hours on the couch. So what they do, which is better, I think, is they divide it now between Saturday and Sunday. So I think no one will be disappointed in this year's WrestleMania. So on the Peacock network, remember that. When you go into, there is no WWE network. It can be found on the Peacock only. And I think that will wrap it up, guys. If you have any thoughts, any questions, any comments, any concerns, this is your Cleanpin WrestleMania predictions. Hope all is well. Look forward to speaking to you guys down the road. Mahalo.
Aloha.